But how will you know if you don't discover it for yourself? If somebody told you, how do you know it's true? So I stress to people that they become scientists. And they approach things from a scientific point of view. Now, when a lot of people hear science, that's all.
It's kind of scary.
Yeah, they hear science. You know, what's this science in Christianity, or what's this science in life, or what's this science of being? Everything that we do, if you watch a child when it's born, it don't know technically what the word science means. But if you watch a child and you put some blocks where he goes experimenting. He put them blocks and he's stacking them blocks and he experimenting, digging in his nose, his ears, you know, because that's a natural thing. We are natural discoverers. We're natural doers. That's what we naturally do. Nobody have to tell us that. From the time we're born, you notice that in a child. But as we get to be adults, some kind of way we lose some of the wisdom we had as a child. You see what I'm saying? And a child naturally is curious. It wants to know. It's hands-on. Then we get to be adults and we go, don't do that. You can't do that. And the prayer becomes protective. And in some ways, that's also destructive. Because the child now sees the world as there's things I can't do, there's things I can't do. So now their freedom of thinking is meant starting to be hampered because now they've been told what to think, what to do. So they're not learning how to do and how to think. And so I'm trying to restore, regenerate people back to Genesis. The way things were originally, the way we were meant to be originally, the way we were meant to learn. See?
Okay.
If you read back in Genesis, it said Adam was put in the middle of the garden to dress it and keep it. A lot of people don't, they don't grasp that. Notice it didn't say change. It said to dress it and keep it. For there was no man to till the ground. And the Lord God made man and he put him in the garden so that there was a worker there. Somebody who to dress and keep things the way they were originally designed. But no man has become God. So I want it like this, and I want it like that. And so he didn't dress it. He didn't keep it. He reformed it. So now you got a whole new...
Hey, Dr. B, we're having a fabulous conversation here today. We really are getting a lot of information.
That's good.
And I wanted to know, do you advocate any certain religion or, what is your ministry based on? Is it based on a certain religion?
Let me say this. I think a lot of people's religion is geographical. I think a lot of people that are born in the West were just traditionally, Christianity is most prevalent. And being that we're sociological in nature, most people are going to migrate to what the religion is of their particular environment. If you were in Iran, Iraq, or a Muslim country, I think 9 times out of 10 you'd probably be a Muslim. So, depending on the geography, I think it has a lot to do. If you was in India, you'd probably be into Hinduism, or a lot of the, the religions that come from that part of the country. So I think a lot of what we call religion has a lot to do with, like I said, biography, geography. And so with that being said, is one right, one wrong type of thing. I've studied them all. And I find a common denominator amongst all of them.
Really?
Yeah. Different names, but the spirit is the same. So, do I advocate any? No. Am I against any? No. Because I know the source of all of them is one source. So, knowing that God is the source of all things, why would I be against any religion? But at the same time, why do I have to be for any religion? If we make it in a worldly scenario, and let's say a father had a child called Christian, had a child called Muslim, had a child called Hindu, he had a child called Judaism, he had a child called Buddhism, he had a child called Egyptology. He had a child named after every religion. Will the father forsake his children?
No.
Doesn't mean he's for all that his children become a part of, but he wouldn't forsake all. And so that's my approach to religion, because all the religions still link back to the Father. So my religion is to be at the Father. So if I'm at the Father, I'm at the source of all of the religions. So when the religions lose their way, they got to go back to the Father to get the light. So I teach in all of them, because of course, I have a university and I teach all religions, and whatever people preference. Hey, unconditional love is not putting a condition on what religion. Religion means to relink back to the source. Comes from the Latin term religio, or rebind, or relink back. As long as it gets you back to the Father, as long as you know where the Father's house is, that's where I'm going to be. So when people ask me, what religion are you? I'm at the source. So I'm not looking to relink. I'm linked. But when you're in a religion sometime and the religion loses its way because of man and what he propagates in the name of religion, that's not relinking him back to the source, but it's actually taking him away from the source. That I have nothing to do with, because that does not have anything to do with what the word religion means. A lot of people are getting caught up on ritualism for religion and the outward garments you wear and how you look and how you appear, and they're calling that a religion, or they associate a Muslim with wearing certain kufis or clothes or eating bean pies or whatever, and they call that religion. No, that's ritualism. Religion is a spiritual thing, and you relink back to the Father through spiritual means. So, do I embrace one over another? No, they're all children of the same source. Okay. Do I see some beauty in all of them? Yes, I do. From a spiritual place, because I teach the essence of all of them. And there's no contradiction.
And you study these?
I've studied these, yes I have.
Let's talk a little bit about your background.
Okay. My background, number one, was being raised in the Christian church. And being that, I have a strong culture in the Native American culture, I was also exposed to Native American culture, which always gave me a comparative, so to speak, of, concepts and ideologies and those type of things. So I was always encouraged to approach everything with an open mind, to not go into anything closed, already thinking that I know the answers before I've done my due diligence. And so I was taught to always question if you have a question. There's no such thing as a dumb answer. The only dumb answer is the one you didn't ask. I was taught basic principles in learning, and not to think that reading a book is learning. And see, a lot of people confuse reading a book with learning. You feel me? So I hope you wouldn't read a book on flying an airplane and then get up in the airplane in the cockpit and kill yourself because you read the book. No, you just got intellectualism. I hope you wouldn't read a book on using knives in the kitchen and get in the kitchen and cut your fingers off, because you have no hands-on learning.
This is Lady B of Lady B Living, empowering you to create values that maximize your net worth in all areas